A new day for Monumental Basketball, a new day for the Washington Mystics, joined now by the president of Monumental Basketball, Michael Winger. First of all, Michael, thanks for taking the time with us. Great day, great place to be here.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me.
No worries. But speaking of right time, how about the right fit? What is it about Sydney Johnson and Jamila Wideman that made them the right fit for this organization at this time?
Wes, I think a lot of it has to do with who they are as people. Very clearly, they are basketball purists. They're basketball junkies. And Jamila, having played for as long as she played, professionally, of course, collegiately. Sid, similarly. Sid has coached for a very long time. Like, they know the game. And I think what they provide beyond that is they know people and they know professional athletes. And I think that they have the capacity to, I don't really want to use the term raise, but I can't in this moment think of a better term, but they know how to raise athletes from young people to late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, and then create a life for them, help them create a life for themselves that is fulfilling, rewarding, and that pours itself back into the basketball. Their resumes, their life experiences, just really, really rich with, as I said, giving. They give, they pour into other people, they are zealous advocates, and I think that organizational leaders, particularly in a league that is still very much developing and evolving and changing, I think that type of energy is what's needed in those two leadership positions.
So we have a new coach in the building with brand new ideas. What qualities does head coach Sydney Johnson possess that you believe will move the Mystics forward?
He's ultra creative. He's fearless, and he does not skip steps. And I think that in putting professional athletes through practices, through shoot-arounds, in games, they need to know that their coach is fearless. They need to know that their coach will hold them accountable. They need to know that their coach is willing to take huge risks in the interest of growing those athletes, putting them in positions to be successful, scratching out wins. And he is, in many ways, both a calming truth teller and I'll just say, an unusual truth teller.
Okay.
We match his truth telling with his courage.
Okay.
And some things come out that need to be said.
Yeah.
And I think that for professional athletes who do have very dynamic lives, they need a binding agent within the basketball environment, and that binding agent, I think, is a head coach's truth telling. And so that's one of many things I think sets Sid apart.
I'm curious about, let's zoom this lens out a little bit. Let's talk about women's basketball. Like right now, the unprecedented popularity of this game and merging it with the timing right now with making these new moves with this front office. Just, can you unpack to me about the new era of Mystics basketball following that same consistency about the growth of women's basketball?
I think the new era is really undefined, and I think that a lot of it is going to be a function of who those defining agents are, whether it's the athletes, the media, team owners, front offices, coaches. There are a lot of people that want to sort of paint their stroke on the canvas of the new league, and we of course want to be one of those organizations that does that. And I feel very strongly that the timing was actually perfect for us to bring in new creative leaders to help sort of forecast what that league will look like in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and aim for that 5 and 10 year mark. Not for the next day, not for the next week, but try to paint our picture a little bit so that when you finally turn it around and reveal it some years down the line, it matches up with what is artistically preferred at that moment in time. And so we have a lot of new talent coming into the league. The league is going to be shaken up pretty significantly a year from now. And I wanted to make sure that we had creative leaders in place who could forecast, prepare, and then create an image for our organization that was attractive to those athletes and the fans, frankly.
Excuse me. Last question for me. Monumental Basketball is not just Mystics, but it's Wizards and Go-Go. How important is it to continue this vision across the entire franchise?
Very, very important. We think of Monumental Basketball as one overarching family environment, and while in years past they were pretty segregated organizations. Their personalities were different, their goals and objectives were different, how they went about their business was different, and we want to blend that a little bit more. And I think that having people who are aligned, like as an example, and I didn't give him enough credit. Actually, I didn't give any credit when I was at the table, but like our Wizards general manager, Will Dawkins, was part of our process for talking with Jamila and Sydney. And that was really important to me because now that he and I are both 20 months into our tenure here, like he too knows what it's supposed to look like. And he has made as many contributions as I have into what it's supposed to look like. And I wanted his opinion on incoming personnel. Not only do they have what it takes, but can you, Will, the general manager of the Wizards, work alongside Jamila, the general manager of the Mystics? Can you partner together? Can you collaborate together? Are you compatible? And that compatibility, that connectedness is really important to us because I think that if you erect a wall between these organizations, well, then you're not sharing the ideas that come from within the walls of these organizations. And we have incredibly bright people. I mean, incredibly bright people inside the walls of these buildings. And so, like, why on earth would we not create an environment where they can share?
Right. Michael Winger, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys for having me.
I appreciate you unpacking things. And again, as a broadcaster, but also as a fan of this game, I'm excited about the future of the Mystics. It's been fun to cover it, and we're looking forward to the future. So
Likewise.
thank you, my friend.
Thank you.